This is the Acts of Science Sprint. This is a series of 30-minute segments on different projects in which SciStarter ambassadors are taking the reins and talking about different projects. Our final one of tonight, our last one of this 4-hour stretch, is Stall Catchers. We are going to be led by Maia, who is here as well if you want to unmute and say hello. Hi, how's it going?
Hello.
Glad to have you here. We'll be saying hello to you. You can share a little bit about why you are here and why you're a SciStar ambassador, and then we'll learn about the project, and then we'll actually do it. And this will be fun because the stall catchers can get competitive. You can get really high points in it, so I'm excited to see how it goes. So I'll go ahead and stop my share and give the microphone to you. How's it going?
Okay, thank you. I'm Maya. I'm an ambassador for SciStarter. I originally decided to become a SciStarter because I actually grew up in a very rural village in England, where things like citizen science and research wasn't really discussed, which is very frustrating when you consider like perspectives like the rural ones aren't really included in scientific discussions that often. So I wanted to join to prove like demystify like the scientific process, actually make it accessible to people. But I'll be going over stool catches today. I'm gonna switch over and start sharing my PowerPoint.
Sounds good. I love stall catchers. I'm excited for this to be the last one because it's a very fast-paced project once you get the hang of it anyway.
Can we all see it? My screen?
Yes.
Cool. I'll start presenting.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Stool Catchers. It's an online game that was developed by the Computation Institute, where we're identifying blood flow in blood vessels. So these are some testimonies from people who have participated in the online game, which is especially important considering that with an aging population, we are definitely seeing the effects of Alzheimer's a lot more often. It's becoming a lot more common. So participation in these kind of research activities is really important. Especially since whilst we always kind of knew that Alzheimer's had an aspect of Alzheimer's was a reduced blood flow to the brain, 30%. It was only until very recently that it was discovered the actual cause behind this, which is something called a stool, which is specific to the brain where you have a clogged blood vessel. It is specifically caused by blood cells kind of getting stuck inside inflamed blood vessels. So when you have reduced blood flow, it causes these kind of stools, which now scientists have linked to Alzheimer's. So so by restoring the blood flow to the brain, we can restore the memory loss that we experienced during Alzheimer's. At least that's what we found in animal models like mice. And specifically stool catchers is trained on mice data. It uses special imaging technies. So you basically can create this virtual microscope of brain tissue in the mice, which is what you'd be looking at, and you'll be seeing it in a little bit when we actually go through the game of what it's like. But hopefully when you find a way to prevent these blood stools, we'll finally be able to begin developing treatments towards Alzheimer's. So why it's really important to have crowdsourced games like stool catchers is because if scientists alone was just analyzing the data in mice, it will take up to a year to only able to answer one research question in the lab. So by using crowdsourcing this, you can speed up this analysis through the online game. So then it will reduce the time down to only 1 to 2 months per research question, which is magnitudes of orders quicker. So when you begin playing stool catchers, like I've discussed, you will be looking at a virtual microscope and you'll be analyzing the research data in the exact same way that scientists would be doing in labs. So it is completely valid research. You'll be to speed up the process. So as of 2021, which is the latest data that is available for stool catchers, I checked on the website, there is over 40,000 catchers on the website. Every day you average about 50 to 100 people playing, which increases the speed of research and answering these research questions by 5 times. And as we previously discussed, reducing the time of answering a research question to up to a year to only 1 to 2 months.
So much faster.
These are some of the research questions that stool catchers has been able to answer. You're more than welcome to look up the articles themselves if you're ever interested in the specific science behind it. And then before we actually look into the game, I just wanted to bring special attention because I don't think it's made very clear in the tutorial the difference between like a flowing blood vessel and a stool. Because sometimes when you're looking at the blood vessels, and I'll show you in a bit, you're gonna see stuff that kind of looks like a stool, but if you look closely, it's very slightly gray, and that is blood flow, opposed to this pitch black, which is a blood cell that's getting stuck in the vessel. So before we begin, you just need to make sure that you have your SciStarter account made. And when you go on to create your stool catchers, which account, you need to use the exact same email that you used for your SciStarter, or else the data won't sync up and it won't come up on your dashboard. So shall we begin with the demo?
Yeah, sure. And just a note there that syncing of your on the dashboard, that's how you get it to count for 1 million acts of science this month, while we're trying to get to that 1 million acts. All of these classifications count. So every time you hit flowing or stalled, each one of those will be counted towards that 1 million, which you can get done like hundreds within like 2 hours. Just crazy. All right, sorry, carry on. And I'm joining too, so I'm gonna log in there.
Okay.
If I remember my password, oh gosh.
So after you join up, you should, hang on, let me start sharing again. Okay. So after you sign up and log in, you should be greeted with this kind of view, if that's visible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this is what you're looking at. This is the virtual microscope. This is actually live mouse specimens. And what you're looking at is basically, if I slide along, is hundreds upon hundreds of images of blood vessels in mice that have been stitched together to create almost like a video of the flow of blood inside the brain. And if you just click play, you can see that yourself, or if you want to, you can click on the circle and look at it stop by stop, frame by frame. I prefer it this way, especially if you're stuck on a particular section. And then this number here is your frames, and this actually represents the the consecutive brain tissue layers of the mouse. And if you see here, this white thing you're looking at here, that's your blood vessel.
And we're looking only within the orange spot.
Yeah,
right?
you look only within the orange section. That's basically your field of view. And you just want to look at the blood vessels that are flowing through this area. And what you're spotting for is an area of pitch black that kind of looks stuck inside the blood vessel. So if you look here, if you scroll, you can kind of see this continuous white flow, which indicates that it's flowing. There is no stool. So let's check. Okay, and this is another aspect. So some of the movies do not have an expert answer, which means it's kind of up to the people submitting the answer to decide. So if you look here, you can see 4 people have said that they think it's stooled. and 109 have decided that it's flowing. Sometimes people put their answer in chat. You can type what you think it is in the chat to share with other people. Oh, also, before we continue, I should also mention that you have teams in SciStarter. If you can see here, like I'm currently a part of the SciStarter team. If you want to join that, you can literally just click on Teams and search SciStarter, and it'll be the first one that comes up.
And I've just joined the team, so you'll see me in there shortly.
You may have saw it, but when I clicked flowing, it gave you a little bit of points, which you can see on the right side here. And that went up a bit, and then you can have your level, just like a game, because it is a game. You have different levels which you can rank up. This shows the amount of points you need to score to go to the next level. This is your rank amongst all stool catchers. Then movies is basically these clips you're watching. Each one is considered a movie. And then the stools is the block plus cells. And then lab time, this is what it's saying, how much time you've saved scientists from analyzing the data in a lab. So right now it's at 3.1 hours. And then this bar here, this blue bar, is the sensitivity bar. Basically shows the amount of answers you consecutively get right or wrong. So as you get more answers correct in a row, this bar will go up. And then if you get one wrong, it will go down a bit.
But you'll never lose points, which is nice.
Never.
We're not about losing points.
The points are there forever.
Yes. And I just want to point out, I mean, you probably started at a later date than I did, since I've been doing stall catchers for a while, but I'm like feel the need to compete with you tonight, with how many points we get. So I'm gonna keep score while we go through it. Oh, I think you might have an extra tab open because you did have the SciStarter team on here. If you click that Catchers 4, yeah, you can hit my team. And then it should show up with my name eventually because I see yours on here too.
Maybe it just needs to wait a bit.
Yeah, you might need to reload too because I think this screen was a different one than you had open before.
Oh,
yeah.
there you are.
Here I am with only 59. Oh, I gotta get going.
We'll get that up.
Were you playing it before we started your 30 minutes?
A little just to remind myself.
Man, you got ahead. Okay, I'll keep working. Neat.
But as you can see here, and also if you don't pause it, you can just let it continuously run. It'll just loop back and forth. And as you can watch, you're basically spotting again for any like pitch black dots, not light gray, but black. And if you go through that, I don't think there is. No, there isn't any here. So again, I would categorize this as a flowing. Let's check. Yep. Yay.
And just a note too, those black dots, it will be pitch black, but it's also one that does not move. Think about it like a stone in a straw or like a big chocolate chip in a straw that like stops it forever. Like it just does not want to move. And it stays in that one spot. If it's moving around, it's like bubbles in a blood vessel. It's not actually bubbles, but that's how I think about it in my head. If it's moving around, it's not actually a stall. It's like those lighter gray ones that you see too, where it's not actually dark. It's still moving around. It's more of an imaging like flicker as opposed to something actually stuck.
Yeah, and also if you ever need a refresh or tips, you can literally go to the how-to section up here and you can replay the tour that you'd get at first when you originally log in if you just need a refresher. And if you go into about and into stool catchers, they'll also have videos there going through tips and tricks and spotting different stools and if it's stalling or a blood flow, which I found very helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes they're not very obvious.
No, not at all. In fact, I'm looking at one right now that I'm not sure about because it's so hard to. Sometimes the black lines will look pitch dark and they'll look like they're stopped. You have to try so hard to identify where it might be covered with the white at some point, so it's not actually stuck in one spot. That's the trickiest part when they're just like a little bit grainy. But the good news is that if you are frustrated with the graininess for any of these, once you give your best guess, you can complain about it in the chat there, in community answers, because it'll help us identify ones that might be problem ones, where the researchers will have to look at it like there's something else going on there, or it's too difficult for us to tell.
Yeah, like here, 297 people thought it was stalled.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of people, even though it was overwhelmingly noted as flowing.
Or someone says, I don't understand why this is classified as stalled. So maybe originally it was.
Yeah, it might be changed. They might have made
Yeah,
a
and an expert
adjustment.
comes back and changes their mind.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mhm.
Unless they just read it the wrong way too. That might be what happened.
Also, you should never feel afraid of getting something wrong because the game is on such a large data set that a wrong answer won't negatively impact the results.
Hmm.
Like, I get things wrong frequently.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there's actually robots working with us on this too. Both a bunch of humans are needed to check answers and um oh gosh, people think this is stalled. Dang, I think I got this wrong. Ah, okay. And then oh wait, maybe not. I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry. A bunch of humans are looking at this, and then we also have AI or machine learning happening while you're playing. So there are bots combined. So both humans and bots together, the accuracy increases even more than just humans by themselves for some reason, which is really nice to know. We don't have to worry about making errors.
I suspected that because you see people getting 2 million points a day. I'm like, that's
I
not a
mean, to be
human.
fair though, there are some people, if you go to the catchers list, StarWriter and Carol, aka Mima, all those two are frequent visitors and have been involved since the beginning. And StarWriter actually used to be a part of the a different project called Stardust at Home. That was the inspiration for this project. Even though it was a NASA project, it was using a very similar technique. And then Carol Aki Mima is a grandma in Alabama or something. She's just like this is all she does.
I'm
Very
jealous.
unique people.
I'm jealous. I want the points.
Yeah, they do a lot of amazing work. I'm not sure if the bots have names, honestly. They might. I haven't I haven't asked Pietro, the creator of it. We should ask. Find out.
There should
Uh,
be a bot league.
a bot league just to see which ones are the best
Yeah.
bots. That would be interesting. I wonder if they differ enough. I would assume so. I don't know AI very well. I get confused. Uh, have you ever run into issues with like sometimes you disagree with sometimes the orange bit is done by an AI model, and so sometimes it's interesting to see because it barely highlights a blood vessel. I don't know if you've run into that before, but
Yeah, I
sometimes.
mean, if you look at my screen, there's
Mhm.
one very, very slight.
Yeah,
These
like
are
it's
the
hard
ones
to
that always
identify
trip me out.
those.
Where it's so slight that you can't even tell if there's actually a stool or if it's just a
Yeah.
thinner section of blood.
Yeah, and then you just make your best guess
Yeah.
based on whatever you're seeing. Mine is a not broken one, but very limited.
Oh,
Oof.
and there's also a live chat option.
Mhm. Who of us is on
It's
there?
a free one right now.
Up. I didn't know that one, Mike. What was the uh Caparam might be Mike Caprero, I think is his name.
Oh, well, they're having fun with pi.
Oh my gosh. Unless you're into astrophysics, 355 over 113 is as good an approximation of pi as you're ever likely to need, just saying.
Yeah, then you've got this guy just spamming pi.
Thank you, Jack, for just spamming pi. I love that, and that's one of the researchers, Caparum.
Well, if I ever need pi when I'm playing this game, I know where to go.
Go to Jack in the chat. Marchando. Yeah, it's fun to see these folks who stay or do so much that they just chat while working. It's great. Ooh, I can redeem points. Hooray! Man, my points are not going up very fast though. I'm losing quite a
They
bit.
don't go up a lot when you have the ones that don't have an expert opinion.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I've been getting like 59 points at a time. Let's see. This one.
See, and this is what we're talking about. Like sometimes you get really grainy
Oh yeah.
pictures.
Ooh, interesting. At the farthest south one area of that, that's where I'd be worried about there being a
Yeah, me too.
oh, but it looks like it could
Shows
just
here.
be out of frame. Yeah, at that bottom section there, it might be a stall. But yeah, it is pretty grainy. So this the one that you're looking at might be one of the ones that I would have marked as stalled, and here's where I think it is. But also, oh, you know what? Actually, let's, if you wouldn't mind going to the tutorial, because then we can see some examples of the stalls that they train you on, because those ones are very obvious too, which
Yeah,
is
I
really,
can.
yeah. Unless it doesn't. Oh, you know what? You might have to restart. Here, actually, let me do some magic really fast. Uh, Incognito window, because I think it might be easier to go in as a fake new person. Stall catchers, join now. Mm, Today is the 16th. Okay. Uh, okay, so I'm doing a sneaky thing and adding myself as a new user, so that I can do the example. All right, I'm gonna hijack your screen share for a minute here.
Feel free.
Okay. Okay, so once you sign in, when you see it the first time, it'll look like this. But as you probably know, if you're already doing the tour, you can skip the tour and come back to it, but it gives you all the information that Maya already gave you. So I'm going to skip through it really fast and just make sure that everything was covered. Okay, so stalled. If there are black spots, blood cells that are stuck and don't move, it's probably stalled. Cool, we know that. If there are no black spots that are stuck, so they might be black spots, but they're moving in a single direction. It's flowing. And then, cool, skip tour. So the ones I'll get as a new user, which is this username of 4162025, I get to see some very precise examples. So as it goes down, see that section right there? You can confirm that's a very dark
Yep,
black
that's
spot, right?
cool.
Yeah. So I'll hit stalled. And then when you do get a stalled one, since we haven't seen an example yet on Maya's screen, this is what you'll be forced to do, right? Click where you think it is. Oh.
And you can look at what other people thought it was as well.
Yeah, that's where
What the
those
red things are there.
hmm And this one specifies to Y, which is nice. Look at how many people. Oh my gosh, 63,000. Everyone's doing this one because they have to. This one, let's see if it's another example of stalled. Ooh, this one always trips me up, actually. What do you think it is?
I think it's flowing. It didn't
Oh.
look black to me, it looked very light grey.
All right, let's see. Flowing. Correct. Flowing, no stuck black spots. So as you scroll through, maybe if you see a black spot, just watch it to see if it gets covered with the gray or the lighter white as
Yeah,
it
if
goes.
it moves as well, it's a
Yeah.
pretty good indicator that it's flowing.
Yeah. And we're good to go. All right, what about this one? More black spots, but are they moving?
They are moving.
Hmm. Yeah, this is one of the ones where I would probably pause the scrubber so I can move a little bit slower and see. Sometimes I'll even put my finger to the screen to check if a black spot gets covered by white eventually, or if it gets stuck. If it gets stuck, the technical terms. Hmm. Yeah, that was a tough one. I'm gonna go ahead and flowing. Woohoo! Hooray! You were right. All right, what about this one?
Ooh, that could be stalled at the start. There.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost like a flashlight going over it and then it can't
Yeah.
see past certain areas. So you see it here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's see. I mean, this is gray area, but I think that might also be a stall. And then down there also could be a stall. So I'm gonna mark it as stalled and mark where you said. Oop, that was perfect. Oop. Yeah. Well spotted. There are a few stuck blood cells that appear as black spots in the outlined blood vessels. So we'll be able to see some folks respond about where people spotted them in all three locations, which is good. Although I'm not sure if all three locations are accurate, I suppose. It could just be that one of them is and the rest of them are not.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you if other people click the right uh,
Weird.
location, just if it's stalled or not.
Yeah, I know in talking to their team, Pietro has mentioned the idea of being able to like go back and see your previous answers and see which ones you got right or wrong. Because at this point, you just get to say redeem points, right? You just get to see which ones you got right, but not via the actual image. Like you can't tell which ones you got right, but you can see how many points you get. You'll just know
Yeah.
that you did well.
That's smart,
Yeah.
especially because sometimes when I get things wrong and they tell me it's wrong and they show me where the stall is, sometimes I still don't agree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you remember? I mean, I guess we can't go see an example of that, but that's a good point. I wonder how often that happens to folks. This is one of the more recent ones that I was looking at. Let's scrolling through. This
This
one
is
doesn't look like it's flowing
flowing.
in one direction, which is annoying, but I don't think that means it's stalled.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it
I
just
think
kind
it's
of,
flowing.
well, yeah, I agree. Oh, okay. Some people said stalled in weird places, but it's only, yeah, 183 of us think it's flowing. So I think we're
The
probably in
majority.
the majority rules.
I just wish when people would click stalled for the ones where it's like the vast majority of people disagree, they'd put why they think that. Because they could be right.
Yeah, that's
It could
very
be
true.
one of the few who spotted it, but I'd like to know where.
Yeah, I mean the red marks help to a certain extent, but you're right, it doesn't actually specify. People don't often write in saying, there's something funky going on here,
Yeah,
or
like the thinking behind it.
yeah, I've done that sometimes, just because it's mostly me saying like this is too grainy. I don't believe people when they say they're right.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm not sure I believe anyone. You should look at this one. Um, I've only had one instance of flagging one too. Have you ever had to flag one?
Not yet.
I mean, I don't think people should generally do it unless they're certain that something is up, but there have been occasions where um, if you have a stall or if you have a visual here, I'm gonna pause it for a second, where in the orange area, it lights up as like a big circle. So it's almost like you're looking at the inside of a vessel, not like along a vessel. It's a mistake in the AI.
Oh
So
no.
and so I was online with Pietro teaching someone how to do this, and he was like, let's flag that one actually." Because it's basically us trying to figure out what the AI is doing wrong so we can fix it. But it's so rare that it happens. It was very lucky that I caught it while online with someone who actually helps run the program. So very random, but
And if you do find a thing you need to flag, you just click the flag by the flowing button
mhm, yeah, right in there.
for future reference.
Yeah, if the movie seems wrong in any way. Yeah, sometimes if the movie's like broken, like if you have the black screen show up for half of it,
Mm.
that can happen too. Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that
So
normally an issue of compiling the pictures together?
yeah, exactly. AI makes mistakes, we make mistakes, and you totally beat me for this round.
Oh,
That's a pretty significant.
I had a big lead though.
But what level are you on, huh? What level are you on?
I am on 22.
Oh, you're catching up to me. Oh no. Okay, I'll speed up. I'll have to do this
On
more
your
often so that
tail.
you don't catch up. Lucky for me, I've done a lot of doing this project with our Verizon teams, but we don't have as many events with them anymore, so I am out of practice. I gotta do more. So we're at the last minute of the hour. Any words of wisdom you want to give to folks about
I
participating
quickly just want to share where people can find like videos on the science behind it on the website in case they're ever interested. So I'll
in
just quickly share my screen.
Go for it?
So, am I sharing? Yeah.
Oh no, not sharing yet.
Oh,
Sorry.
not
It's
anymore?
stuck. Yeah, I think I hijacked it, so it forced yours out.
Okay. Now?
Yes.
Yay. So, if you're ever interested in the science behind it, because I do think the brain is just a very interesting organ altogether, you can just click about and go straight to science, and they'll have numerous YouTube videos,
Oh,
which is something you might, if you have free time, you might want to go through and look.
yeah. Have you spent any time on their blog?
Yeah, their blog is here. As you
Eyes on alls. Ooh, is that
double
today?
points.
Oh no, that's 2017.
Oh,
Why is it 2017? It should be
it's
showing they have
old.
had blogs recently. That's odd. Oh, you know what? Actually, can you hit back? Okay, at the very top of the screen where it says about and how to, there's one that says blog. I wonder if they have two different links on here. Just in the top menu.
I'm at the very top.
Yeah, about how to, there's blog all the way to the right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I think they do have two different links. I should tell them about that. I'm gonna make a note.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, we discovered something new.
This is why
Sometimes,
citizen science is important.
yeah. And it's also a collaborative experience. Sometimes you have to notify the leaders of issues with the website. Blog link.
But then
Okay.
also, if you go into how to and getting started, that's where you can find the tutorials about stalled or not stalled, and then they even have like
Oh,
zebras.
what is that? When a
When
magical
am I?
zebra gets sick, it is still sparkly, but its stripes get stuck and no longer move. Wow, that's hard to look at. Okay, cool.
The more you know.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this page on it. That's funny. That's potentially helpful. I use the straw metaphor, but now I need to use the magical zebra. Sweet. Well, it is 2 after, and I have been online for about 4 hours, so I'm gonna call it. Thank you so much for presenting on stall catchers and being our final presentation. As someone who's in school, good luck on finals.
Thank you.
This is like your final April citizen science activity, unless you're doing more, but it's all that was excellent. I really enjoyed doing stall catchers with you, so thank you for presenting on that.